2022 was the first sane year since COVID. I mean, if you were in Australia during that time, we were in lockdown for 2 years. It was mad. So last year was just a breath of fresh air, and I thoroughly enjoyed myself. It could have been better though, because no matter how anything good is, there's still room for improvement. I would have really liked to go home to Nigeria last year because I was low-key homesick though. But yeah, it's the beginning of a new year, 2023, and per usual, I do like a recap and think about my year and what went wrong, what went right. We do this thing at work called retro, short for retrospective, and it's basically where we look back at the past month or past couple of weeks that we've had to look at what went wrong, what went right, how can we do things better. So I decided to apply that concept to 2022 and look at what can be brought into the new year and things that should just be left in the bin. And before I start, I want to acknowledge that I know that I definitely have not been so consistent on my channel. That is one of the things I'm trying to throw in the bin. But I see all the love, keep commenting, keep sharing, and don't forget to subscribe. Now I'm going to start with things that are not worth bringing into the new year. The first thing is stop trivializing what you do. Now this is for work, at work, in relationships, in friendships, just in general. Do not trivialize it. Don't make your efforts sound unimportant. Now, for instance, in a work situation, you had a 3-page report regarding a client meeting that you had. Your manager the next day asks you, hey, how did your work go yesterday? And you start with, it's only a small report. It's just a little filing I need to do. What you're saying right there is that what you spent the good part of yesterday doing was not that much. And maybe you didn't need to spend that much time doing it, but you did. And you put your effort in it. And if this keeps going on every time you get asked that kind of question, whoever is listening to that conversation starts to get the impression that you're not having enough of an impact in the company, or your work is not that important. And so avoid using phrases like that. It's just you can say things like, it's going well. If the work was not too hard for you, you can say stuff like, oh, it went fine. It was pretty straightforward. I had to report on the client meeting that we had the other day, and just kind of highlight some of the feedbacks from the client. And you see how that sounds better already, because now you are showing your contribution and your impact in that on that team. And this took me a while to get used to. So don't beat yourself up if it's not easy for you to phrase a response in the right way that you would like. But one thing you should avoid doing is using those type of phrases that diminishes your time and effort. I've also realized that some people do that thing too, where they say, hey, can you help me do this? And it's only this, or it's just this. And that's a way of making you feel like they're not asking for much or anything significant. But your time is significant. Your effort is significant. Your intelligence is significant. My eyes just reading that is significant. Like, come on, your creativity is significant. Whatever it is, your advice is significant. So just avoid, trivializing your work. And even when people try to trivialize it, you remind them that, hey, man, it's not just, in the most polite way possible, Another thing is to reduce the noise. In a world where everyone has an identity online and literally every breath you take is monitored by some AI or machine learning program, every platform is trying to tailor content to your taste. So be it Netflix, Spotify, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. The only way to cut out the noise is to be mindful of what you consume. Take Instagram, for instance. When you watch or like something or comment or follow someone, you start seeing suggestions from Instagram. Because you liked this, here's this. They give you similar content of what you watched, or people that have similar profile or online presence as to other people that you're following. So check yourself. These AIs are powerful. Have you heard of ChatGPT? It's a new AI, and I'm a big fan because that's a pretty good one, and can tailor the chat that you have with it to what you want and literally what you're looking for. I'm a big fan of that one, but that's a conversation for another time. What I'm just basically saying here is to reduce the online clutter, because you're watching and liking and saving and following every single thing. So there's so many things that are subconsciously shaping your mind without you knowing. The more you consume something, it's just like when you hang around somebody for a very long time, after a while they start to rub off on you, even if it's not on the fundamental level. Just little things like their mannerisms can start to rub off on you. That's the same way it is with online noise. You start to subconsciously form those opinions and let them influence some of your decisions. Another thing is to stop saying, I'm not the kind of person that does so and so, and just start doing so and so. Your brain will adapt. So a lot of people would always go, hey, I want to be the type of person that goes to the gym regularly, the type of person that wakes up at so and so, that goes to tennis on Saturdays, or, a person that reads a book. If you want to be that, then be that. Just start doing it. I think that's the thing. We always prepare. The preparation will never end. And so it takes such a long time for things that you're praying for to start coming out, because you're not even putting the work yet, because you're saying, okay, when I'm that person, then I start doing the work. And this is one thing that when I thought about, I was just like, sis, that I am very guilty of this. Like, I've been saying, I opened this channel in 2020, right? And I was like, what, I want to really share my experiences and be that person that inspire other people. And if you have questions, you can ask. I have my chat platform open on Instagram, so I definitely answer people's questions. But one thing I don't do is post. Like, I literally posted 2 videos last year. I'm not very proud of that. I don't know if you watch Modern Family, but in one of the episodes, I can't remember what season, I think it was season 5 or 6, one of the main characters, Mitchell, had a friend who got a calf implant surgery. So your calf is basically the lower part of your leg, right? So he got a calf implant surgery to make it look a bit bigger, so it would look like there's a bit more defined, so it looks like he goes running, and so he told his friend Mitchell, the main character, and he said, hey Mitchell, I just got this calf implant because I've always wanted to be a kind of person that goes running on the beach with great looking legs. And Mitchell was like, you could have just gone running. It was such a short scene, but had so much significance if you really deeped it. Like, if you want to be that person, just be that person. Now, another thing is to stop comparing yourself to others, because, and I know this one is such a cliche one to say, because everyone says that and knows that, but do you really know that? Because no matter how a lot of people say, hey, don't do this, don't compare yourself, low key, there's still that comparison that goes in. I think the key is not just to compare yourself, but to be easy on yourself. As human beings, we would always be like, okay, these are what my peers are doing. What am I? Like, where am I in the spectrum of all my peers? It's a human thing to do, but just be easy on yourself, because not everyone's time is the same. Everyone is on different lanes and not even playing the same sports. Avoid the comparison, and that's all I can say. So I know that it has been said so many times. Another thing worth doing in the new year is being assertive. I think people can interchange being rude and being assertive. You don't have to be rude to be assertive. I think you can make your point without shouting or without telling someone off. Being assertive is more like being sure of what you want, sticking to your intuition, believing in yourself that you have the knowledge and capacity to be in that space, and forming and sharing valid opinions. In doing this, none of it requires you yelling. None of it requires you to be rude. You don't have to shout. You can just quietly convey your opinions. And so that one was short and sweet. Next one I want to talk about is something that I've always been doing, and it's gonna be a keep doing for me in this new year. Suffering is not a sign of hard work. Let that sink in. Suffering is not a sign of hard work. Aim to work smart and not hard. I feel like a lot of people have this misconceptions that a hustle is only a hustle if you are suffering through it. But it's not the case. Everyone deserves a soft life, and soft life will take you to higher places. You want over time to do less and earn more. You want to put yourself in the position. And this is very much easier said than done. Actually, how this is possible is by investing in a particular skill. If there's something that you're good at and you know, like in your bone of bones, that this is your thing, then invest in it, tailor that skill. And when I say invest in it, it's not just money. Investment is also time and practice and research. Now, another one is to be open to new experiences and opportunities. If your job is not working for you, look at something that you really like and invest in it. Again, invest time in it before even money. But look at that and make it work for you. I've always liked to keep my mind open, and you should too, especially in your 20s. Anyone at any age can do that as well, but I'm just saying 20s because it's like you're in the best position to do that. At that time, you don't have a lot of responsibility for the most part, compared to like when you're getting older and you have a family and you know there are other people to consider while you're making the decision. As you guys know, I switched to tech in 2018. That was because I was very much open to new stuff, given that what I was doing at the time was not working for me. My battery died, but I'm back. But yeah, what was I saying? Well, I was just saying to just keep an open mind. And I'm not saying change things that you fundamentally believe in. I'm just saying that on your journey to happiness and success and love, whatever it is, know that there are multiple variations of that path that you have seen to take. Well, anyway, I'm gonna wrap this video up here now because it is suddenly so dark outside, and this is the thing about Melbourne. It was very hot at the beginning of this video, hence the strap dress, and there was sunlight. But now by the end of this video, it's just dark and gloomy, and it's windy and rainy. Ugh. But yeah, thank you guys for watching to the end. I'm always so open and keen to hear from you. So let me know down in the comments below things that are staying in the previous year and stuff that you're bringing into the new year. I would love to learn from you as well, and other people reading the comments and watching this video would love to hear and learn as well. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't, and bye.